everybody, and welcome back to Ultimate Sims Guides. For those of you that don't know, my name is Taylor, and in today's video we are going to be discussing how to get an A in university in The Sims 4 Discover University. But before we get started, I would just ask you guys to please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps and if you enjoy it. So let's just jump in. So if you really want your Sims to struggle, you should send them to university. This is one of the hardest expansion packs that we've gotten thus far for The Sims 4, and I honestly think that it's really well needed. Having your Sim go to university is pretty simple. You just gotta do your homework, your presentations, and your projects. But if you wanna get an A in university, you're gonna have to put in quite a bit of work. While other students are going to be at keg parties or soccer games, you'll be at the library or the student commons studying into all hours of the night. If you want to graduate with honors and have your Sim get the best possible grades, you should follow this guide to get the most out of going to school. So we're going to talk about the importance of choosing your course load, attending your classes, doing homework, and making sure to do your end of term work as well. But before we get into all of that, I really want to talk about where your Sim should live. It may not seem like choosing where you're going to live for university matters all that much. It's just where you sleep, really, but there are certain factors that make living off campus on your own a better option. So for one, when you're living in dorms, a lot of the Sims are really messy and there's kind of just like food everywhere, which can give your Sim negative moodlets. You can also get into fights with your roommates, and there's a lot of other reasons why you might get a negative moodlet. These can make it kind of hard to get your Sim to focus, which will make it harder to do homework and projects and all of that and to actually actively work in class. So it's a lot easier if you're living at home and you kind of control the environment that you're in. So when you live in one of the dorms in Discover University, you actually have to go off that lot into the student commons to eat every single meal. This is a serious pain in the butt and can waste a lot of time. So living off campus in your own house gives you access to a full kitchen on your lot, and this will save you so much time and give you so much more time to study. The last reason why I think it's important for you to live on your own lot is that you can use lot traits to benefit you. You can give your house the study spot lot trait, which will help your Sims do better and quicker at their homework, as well as get skill gaining boosts, which can be very valuable. So I'm not saying that you can't do it while living in a dorm. I just think that it's a lot easier if you're living alone or living on your own lot. And that way you can control all of your surroundings and everything that's happening to your Sim. So now we'll go into choosing your course load. An important factor to consider if you're trying to do well in university in The Sims is how many classes you're planning on taking. Your Sim has the option to take 4 classes. So you can do 4 core classes for your major, or you can do 3 classes and an elective. An elective is just kind of a fun class where you can gain any skill that isn't related to your major. These can be helpful for things like cooking if your Sim has no cooking skill and you want them to be able to cook when they move back out of university. You can take an elective every semester if you want, as these courses still count towards your degree, and they'll give you some new skills that your Sim doesn't already have, which is really nice. If you want your Sim to get an A in university, you really need to think about how much work you want to do. If you take a full course load, you are really going to struggle to get straight A's and still have your Sim's needs met. I honestly think that taking 3 classes is a good balance between being able to finish school relatively quickly, but not totally ruining your Sim's life. So you could do 2 core classes and 1 elective, or 3 core classes depending, but this means that you'll be in school for 4 total terms because you do need 12 classes to graduate. So this would be 20 weekdays, which is 4 Sim weeks. So it's quite a long time to be in school, so you can turn aging off or set your aging to long, because this will be essentially your entire young adulthood for your Sim. So now we'll talk about actually going to class. So a simple fact is that if you don't go to class every day, there's no way you're going to get A's in school. It's just not gonna happen. You won't fail just because you never attend class, although it is a pretty big factor, but you won't get an A. You must attend every single class for every class you're taking if you want to get straight A's. You also need to make sure that you are on time for every class. And it's actually pretty easy to be late for classes if you live on campus, because your Sim will walk to different buildings, and this can be a serious pain in the butt. I've noticed that they're either early for class and waiting outside, or they're late. Like, there is no perfectly on time, there is no in between. So you want to make sure that for like the half hour before their class is supposed to start, they're doing nothing. Don't have them doing any tasks, because then they will probably be late for class, which can affect their grades. You really want to make sure that your Sim is in a decent mood before they go to class. You don't want them to have negative moodlets or be tired or any of that, because you want to be able to use being active in class as an advantage. And you can't really do that well, at least, if your Sim is sad. Although classes in The Sims 4 are rabbit holes, you still have the option of changing how your Sim is learning in class. So you can click on the little briefcase on the top of your sim while they're in class, and you'll be given the following options. You have attend class normally, take notes, chat with students, actively listen, sleep in class, or leave early. So attending class normally will have no effect on your sim's grades. If you choose to take notes, your grades will actually be higher, but your fun will go down. If you choose to chat with students, your social need will go up, but your grades will go down. If you choose to actively listen, you will gain skills, but it won't have much effect on your grades, but your fun will go down. And if you choose to sleep in class, your energy will go up, but it will have a negative impact on your grades. And then also leaving early will have a negative impact on your grades. I personally choose to take notes because that's the one that's going to have a positive impact on your grades. However, this does impact your sim's fun. So you want to make sure to send them into class in a good mood with their fun bar full so that they can actively take notes and do better in school. So the next thing we are going to talk about is doing your homework. So once you enroll your sim in university, they're going to get a black and white composition notebook in their inventory. This notebook is essential for doing well. Every single day that you go to class, you are going to have homework, even before you start your classes, which is something that a lot of simmers didn't realize at first. So essentially, once you hit to enroll in a semester, you should start your homework because your classes could start within like 12 to 16 hours, and you need to make sure that you are ready. Homework will take a few hours, but if your sim has a higher level of the new research and debate skill that came with university, they will actually finish their homework quicker, which can be extremely helpful and convenient. So then when your sim goes to their first class and they come back, their homework starts from zero, and you're going to have to do it all over again before the next time they go to class. This can end up being a lot of work, especially if you're taking 4 classes, because you have 4 sets of homework to do, and it can be a real pain. However, it does have a really huge impact on how well your sim is going to do. Next, we're going to talk about doing coursework. So every class that you're taking will have daily homework, but it'll also have one larger task that you're going to need to do throughout the course of the term. So the 3 things that you can do are presentations, term papers, and final exams. You don't get to choose which one you get, they're given to you. So first, let's go into presentations. So when the term starts, if your sim's task is to do a presentation, they're going to get a big, colorful presentation board in their inventory. It's a giant board. It might be green or yellow or orange. It depends on the class, I guess. I don't really know what factor decides what color it'll be, but you'll need to drag this item out of your sim's inventory and place it somewhere on their lot so they can work on it. There are a few steps to finishing a presentation. So the first step is to compile all of the information on the board. And when this is complete, the project's going to look like a mess. There will be things on the board, but it's going to be really ugly. After this, you can hover over it and see the quality of the presentation. But at this point, it'll probably be poor. And if you really want to get an A in university, you need to make sure that you have an excellent or outstanding presentation before you present it. So the next step you can do is to organize the board and refine information until it's a better quality presentation. This is going to look pretty much the same as compiling information, but when it's done, it'll look a lot more organized. There will be more information on the board, and the quality should go up to excellent or outstanding. You also have the option to ask other sims for feedback on your presentation, which can also improve the quality. So once the project is as good as it's going to get, your sim is going to get a notification saying that they are done editing the presentation, and continuing to refine won't do much other than give them more knowledge for this class. You can still practice your presentation, which will help you improve your charisma skill. I really do suggest you do this at least once or twice so that you make sure you get an A in the class. So once your sim has practiced their presentation and it's at least excellent or outstanding quality, it's time to present. However, you can only present your presentation from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays. So you need to plan accordingly, and it needs to be presented before the last day of classes. So I've made the mistake to where I didn't send my sim to present, and then I got my grades and was like, oh my god, I forgot to do my presentation, and my sim got a D. And I was very upset about it because we did a great job on that presentation. To present your project, you will click on your project in your sim's inventory, and this sim will be sent away into a rabbit hole where they will be gone for around 2 hours doing their presentation. So the next thing you may have to do is writing a term paper. This works pretty similarly to a presentation where you'll do it once and then edit it and then submit it, but this is all done on a computer. One thing that's important to note is that the higher your research and debate skill, the quicker your sim will be able to finish this paper. So if you really want to get a sim who's going to be amazing in university, you may want to get them to work on this skill when they're teenagers so that they have it at least to like a level 5 or 6 and they can do things more quickly so that they can get better grades. So a term paper is written on the computer under the University Coursework section. You'll spend a few hours writing this paper, and it can be done in more than one sitting. There's also the option to submit a stolen paper, but this is not how you get an A. This can get you on probation or possibly get you kicked out of school. Once you finish the first draft, chances are it's going to be poor quality. You'll need to edit the paper at least once, maybe twice, until you get a notification letting you know you aren't going to be able to make it any better. To check the quality of your paper before submitting, you can hover over the submit button and it will let you know what level it is at so that you don't submit a poor quality paper. And once again, this is something that you want to submit before the end of classes. And the third and final thing is that you might have to have a final exam. If your only coursework for the semester is to take a final exam, you may get a little bit excited because all you have to do is write the exam, but you're wrong. You need to study. If you want your sim to just do okay, you can send them to the exam without any preparation. However, if you want to get an A, you really should study. There are a few different ways to study for exams. The first is to click on a computer. Under the university section, you'll see University Coursework. And when you click on that, you'll see the option to study, and you can choose the class where you have the final exam. You can also study using the new research machines that are found in the Commons or at the library, and there is a study for ... option as well. Finally, you can purchase a textbook for one of your courses at one of the kiosks located in the quad at the university. This is also where you can buy items to decorate a dorm room. And you can purchase these textbooks from any bookcase on your lot as well, but they are going to cost you 700 simoleons, which is a lot of money. But you buy these textbooks based on what class you're in. So if you're in the psychology major, you would buy a psychology textbook and use that to study for your classes. I find that if you really want to get an A in your class, you should definitely study at least twice whenever you have a chance. So once you've attended your last day of classes and finally finished all your coursework, your sim will be given their final grades. Hopefully these grades will be filled with A's since you've now learned how to get an A in university. If you guys have any other tips, tricks, and comments, let me know in the comment section down below. I really would like to have a bit of a discussion and little hacks that you guys have found to do even better in university or places that you like to study. Because, you know, we're all in this together. We want to do well, we want to make lots of money, and we want to get distinguished degrees for our sims. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know that it's a little bit boring, but honestly, knowing all this information can be really helpful. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please subscribe to this channel if you like these kinds of videos, and I will see you next time.